to the girls today about maybe doing one problem that was on the test or it's on review, but it's not the exact same problem, so that therefore you can get like a feel for maybe to practice one. And so this one is actually, I think, on, you said, didn't we say number 11 on the review? So it's like number 11 on your test review. And so I didn't write down all the information, but it means that the n equals 3. It indicates that the degree of your polynomial is going to be 3. You have zeros at 1 and 4i that are listed. And then you also have the point f of 2 is equal to 120. And so they asked define what the polynomial is. So with that, then you want to go ahead and you want to start by writing out your f of x as much as you can. So in this case, I know that I could have some variable like a, like in front of it. And so I'm going to call it a just because, remember, that's what we did for our parabola, if you remember when we pulled out the a. And it's just going to be like a constant. It's just a variable. But then on the first one, if I have a root that's going to be a negative 1. Yes, so then I'm going to write it in factored form, so it's going to be x plus 1 then in my factored form. Now, I know I'm degree 3, and so if I just go ahead and do this one right here, I would have x, and I would go minus 4i. But if I multiply this out, then I would have degree 2. And if you know that you have an x, you have a 4i, you also would know that you would have a negative 4i. Because when you get this 4i, this comes derived from your minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And so if I had inside an imaginary number which gave me the 4i, that means that I know that the sign in front would also say that I have to have a minus 4i as well. So I'm going to go ahead and do then 4i, and then I'm going to go x plus 4i. And I kind of picked one, maybe you have to do 2 of these because this one was a little easier. So the next step would be that I would want to go ahead and multiply these out. Okay, so if I multiply this together, then it's my difference of 2 squares. So I want to get rid of my I, so I know that I'm going to be x squared. If I FOIL it out, let me do the steps. Okay, so if I go on this one, it's going to be x squared. You probably know you have a plus 4i, and then inside you're going to have a minus 4i, and then you're going to have, then the last one would be then a minus 16i squared. Now, if you guys can go from this step to this one, it is just fine with me, because by now you should recognize you have the difference of 2 squares. Okay, and the difference of 2 squares will multiply. Remember, they're two when they're not, these are considered conjugates, and conjugates when they multiply together will always be the difference of 2 squares. So I'm going to end up with x squared, and then because the i's in the middle cancel out, I would have minus 16i squared. And then I know that my I squared is going to change. So I squared actually equals what? Negative 1. So I'm going to change this right here to negative 1. But so then I have 16 times a negative 1, and that's going to make this sign in front of here change. So all of this inside actually is going to get x squared plus 16. So again, if you don't need to show me all of those steps, I get it. But I probably need to at least see this last one and then this first one. Now I'm going to just bring all of this down. So I have a times x plus 1 times this is equal to f of x. Now, at this point, I can go ahead and distribute the x plus 1 and go ahead and find it out. I'm going to go ahead and choose to leave it as a factored form, because at this point, now I'm going to apply my f of 2 is equal to 120 so that I can find the value of a. Okay, and then I'm going to leave it as factored form. I would still take it in the other form because it just means that you multiplied it out. But so when I replace the 120 with f of x, so it's going to be 120 is going to equal a times, now this is going to be then, remember f of 2 was equal to 120, and that's why I changed the f of x to 120, but then I'm going to replace the 2 then for every x. So I'm going to have 2 plus 1, and then I'm going to have, whoops, I didn't mean another parentheses, but I'm going to end up with 2 squared plus 16, and then I'm going to end up with a times 3 times then 4 plus 16, which is going to be 20, is equal to 120. And 3 times b then 60. So a 60 times a is going to be 120, and a should be then 2. So far, so good? Now, once we have all of the parts, then we just need to write it as a polynomial. And I don't mind you leaving it in factored form, so I would leave my answer as 2 times x plus 1 times x squared plus 16. And that would be my answer. Okay? Again, I would still accept if I multiply this out and go 2 times, see that multiplying this times this would give me x to the third plus 16x plus x squared plus 16, and then I would go ahead and distribute my 2. So 2x to the third, I'm going to go pull my x squared plus 2x squared plus 32x plus 32 would also be another form I would accept. So again, I noticed on your homework it accepts the factor form as well as the regular polynomial as well. So either way will work for me. Any questions on that? All right.